Raosaheb.
Good afternoon.
So, I think as soon as you talked about visiting Sarwarth, I've been continuously thinking, that, and in fact, all of us have been continuously thinking that how we should be reciprocating at least in bits and parts the affection and love that we get, in Baap Company whenever we visit there. So, first of all, it's a very proud and honorable moment for me to host you here and have this opportunity to have this conversation. But before giving your introduction, Raosaheb, I prepared something. So I write Hindi poetry,
Wow.
and I thought of writing something. In fact, all of us wanted to have something written from my side. So I wrote it in the morning. I hope you'll like it. So it's in Hindi. So देखते ही देखते कितने ही घर मकान हो गए. So there is a bit of context from the people like me who come from villages. एंड विलेजेस में जब हम लोग सिटीज़ में आते हैं तो हम लोग काफ़ी कुछ छोड़ के आते हैं पीछे. तो वो जो घर रहते हैं पीछे वो यहाँ पे आके जो हम बनाने की कोशिश करते हैं तो वो मकान ही रह जाते हैं, वो घर नहीं बन पाते, राइट. तो देखते ही देखते कितने ही घर मकान हो गए. ढूंढने निकले थे जो जवानी में ज़िंदगी के रंगमंच पे खुशियों के मेले. ढूंढने निकले थे जो जवानी में ज़िंदगी के रंगमंच पे खुशियों के मेले. उनकी तमन्नाओं के चलते चलते कितनी पुश्तों में पनपते ख्वाब भाग दौड़ के सुपुर्द हो गए. सो होता है, राइट. मैं यहाँ पे आ गया हूँ, अभी पता नहीं और कितनी पुश्तें यहाँ पे रहने वाली हैं. तो मेरा जो ख्वाब था और उनके जो ख्वाब है, उनके चक्करों में जो एक्चुअल वाला ख्वाब था वो कहीं ना कहीं मिट जाता है. सो दैट इज़ व्हाट आई वांटेड टू से हियर. आवाज़ देता ही रह गया वो कच्ची गलियों के इर्द गिर्द बना गलियारा और चौबारा. गलियारा वो जो कॉरिडोर्स रहते हैं, चौबारा जहाँ पे पुराने बुज़ुर्ग लोग बैठ के कुछ गप्पे वगैरह मारते रहते हैं शाम को, राइट. तो वो आवाज़ ही देते रह गए. आवाज़ देता ही रह गया वो कच्ची गलियों के इर्द गिर्द बना गलियारा और चौबारा. कितने ही मासूम थे ऐसे जो आज के इस दौर के शोर में कहीं खो गए. देयर इज़ सो मच नॉइस हेयर कि वो जो आवाज़ आती है पीछे से वहाँ पे उन चौबारों की, उन गलियों की, वो सुनाई नहीं देती. शायद आपको बहुत क्लियरली सुनाई देती होगी अब, बट हमें तो नहीं सुनाई दे रही. मेरे को तो काफ़ी दिनों से नहीं सुनाई दे रही. उसके आगे बढ़ रहा हूँ. बात अगर हिम्मत भर की ही होती लौट पाने की तो क्या गम था. तो अगर इतना ही होता कि बस वापस जाना है, बात अगर हिम्मत भर की ही होती लौट पाने की तो क्या गम था. ये तो है उम्र भर के रोज़ी रोटी के मसले जिनके चलते कितने ही सुरमा डर के आगोश में खो गए. सो देर आर सो मैनी ब्रेव पीपल हु थॉट ऑफ डूइंग दिस कि चलो चलते हैं, बट वो जो सुबह का खाना, रात का खाना, इसकी ज़रूरत, उसकी ज़रूरत, उसके चक्कर में वो बड़े बड़े सूरमा भी जो थे वो डर के आगोश में खो गए. लास्ट कपल ऑफ लाइन्स. पर यारो सृष्टि का तो नियम है भूले भटकों को अनोखा राह दिखाना. पर यारो सृष्टि का तो नियम है भूले भटकों को अनोखा राह दिखाना. शायद इसीलिए करना पड़ता है कुदरत को भी हर बार एक राव बनाना.
Nice, very nice.
पर यारो सृष्टि का तो नियम है भूले भटकों को अनोखा राह दिखाना. शायद इसीलिए करना पड़ता है कुदरत को भी हर बार एक राव बनाना. बन जाता है फिर जो कितनों के ही सपनों के आईने का पैमाना. बन जाता है फिर वो कितनों के ही सपनों के आईने का पैमाना. ज़रूरी हो ही जाता है फिर उनके किए हुए हर काम को बाप ही कहलाना.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I think we all should have got the context right now that we are having a personality with us who is the founder and the brain behind the company that we all are nowadays reading about, learning about, and getting inspiration about as well. So Raosaheb, the very first thing I think we all are willing to hear and listen from you is that what really inspired you, to have this kind of thought process, because I think most of us think of that irrespective of the place from where we come, be that from one place of the Pune to other place of the Pune itself. That is also a migration if you have to do that. But how come your entire inspiration have been आपको कहाँ से मिला वो पूरा thought और कैसे आपने इसको execute किया?
So I think your poem says a lot. We all dream to go back where we started from, and feeling very well that entire childhood you have you have lived in that village,
Yeah.
how much attached you are to that place, right? And then due to some reason, like bread and butter or needs, you want to migrate somewhere, stay there as a migrant. um, Back of the mind you always feel that you really need to go back to that life where you lived. And that's how everyone, I feel that everyone who migrated from village has a plan to go back in their village after retirement, at least after retirement.
Yeah.
And when I came back in COVID in my village for a vacation, I feel that I definitely have to come back. But then, when is the right time, right? And COVID, world has seen what life is, right? We have seen impossible things to happen in front of our eyes. I have seen Mumbai stopping completely, that I had never imagined, and the entire world is like completely on halt. So I feel that life, there is no life at all if something like that happens. So let's take a step.
Yeah.
And when I was on a vacation, I feel that if I come back in this village after 30 years from now, this village will not be livable place. It would be more destroyed by the local mafias and all that. So let's take a step.
Yeah.
And I had a very small dream of employing a people from my own village, creating a place where these all villagers will come together and create this place as a beautiful livable village for all the people who are migrated from here.
Yeah.
That simple vision I had initially in mind, and I started with that idea. I went back to US. I told my friends to build office, and I thought that when I'll bring all these people together, then we can do anything. We can do anything what we want, because 300 people sitting together may do a lot of things.
Yeah.
So with that vision, I went back and we started constructing office. But due to sudden popularity, I realized that this could be a big dream, right? This could be not only a village dream, but it would be an entire rural India's dream. So I thought of scaling it immediately. I changed the plan, and that's how Baap started. That's how Baap probably at the moment.
Yes, and I think we all have got our own versions of the stories now, even though they are quite common at the core. But again, the people who get the opportunity to spend more time with you. For example, we all have understood now that the best time to spend with you is after dinner, when you're a bit more relaxed, and we get a lot of walk time with you. And that is when I came to know, and I think Vishal was also there with me. We both got a lot of insights about the things that you're going through on a day-to-day basis as well. But Raosaheb, I believe your childhood and your overall time span that you spent in that village, while you were studying and you were in college, have also played a very important role in all of this thought process. कोई ऐसा memory आपके childhood का which you feel like sharing, which you feel like is very prominent, and you are able to still recall it from those places when you go around those streets?
There are many things. Basically, my entire childhood is in front of my eyes.
Okay.
I would say, because it went in a poverty, and it's a story of every village kid.
Yeah.
So I always dreamed of doing something for that village, or I had a revolutionary mindset all the time. When the entire world was like, I mean, all the kids used to. Uh, I mean, in villages, people don't study much, and parents doesn't force you to study. They don't take you to the classes or anything. I was the only kid in my village who used to. I mean, I used to study from fourth standard onwards,
Yeah.
rigorously till 12 o'clock in the night under that lamp, kerosene lamp, and all that. And in my village, there won't be a single tree where I have not sat and studied.
Very.
So, so I always felt that I really want to do something over there. So, initial dream was to start an English medium school. Then that dream got changed to starting some manufacturing company, and then a lot of revolutionary thing. I thought, like, as Amir Khan was doing this Pani Foundation and all
Correct.
other. So I thought, why can't we think of doing this? But it usually doesn't happen that way. Villagers grow with a different mindset. They have their own egos and attitude, and they don't accept the change so quickly. They don't accept the intellectual or educated people so easily. They have their own way of living the life.
Correct.
So I felt that kind of disturbance when I started this. In childhood, we had so many incidents. Like, frankly speaking, I have learned leadership. I have learned, I would say, being a good team player from my childhood. I had many friends from different caste who was coming together. We used to play cricket whole day. We used to do some activities like, go to one person's farm and everyone will contribute to
Yes.
complete that work.
Yes.
And then next day someone else farms. So it's like a teamwork.
Yes.
And when all friends comes together, the work becomes a happy place to do,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
all that difficult work we used to do, as a group, and we used to go to every household from our friend circle and then complete that work next day on someone else. So that is a teamwork,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Usually, otherwise, what one could have done is my father is telling to do this myself. Others fathers are like they will tell their own work.
Correct.
That way, it wouldn't have been interested. But we brought in concept of group work. Then all friends comes together, go to one farm every day, and then complete that work. I remember one incident where it was my 10th maths paper,
Okay.
and in the morning 7 o'clock, my father told me go, and there was a wheat field where
Yeah.
we had harvested it, and it was all over the farm. So he asked me to collect it,
Okay.
and he didn't know that it was my board exam. And my mother was literally shouting at him. I said, okay, don't worry. I took my 3 4 friends and went in the morning 7 o'clock. Within 1 hour we collected everything, and my paper was at 11 o'clock, so we went to that.
Okay.
And then when our results were out, my name was in local newspaper, and it was
Wow.
my father was told by someone that your son has secured a first rank in the school, and that's how he got to know. So that much these farmers or these village people were not aware of what is the value of education. So these are the things which
True.
has, like,
True.
it's a different kind of environment
Yes.
altogether.
I think there are so many memories, right? And as you were mentioning about them, Raosaheb, I was so kind of my own childhood was,
Exactly.
like right now moving in front of me. So, I was reading something in the morning, and there is a very beautiful quote by Swami Vivekananda. So, what he mentioned about education, since you brought it as a very interesting point, from the perspective of villages and villagers. So, what Swami Vivekananda said a long time back is, that all the wealth of the world is not enough for a very small or tiny village of India till the time we don't teach them how to help themselves.
Correct.
And our main duty is to have primarily deliver the education, and that on the basis of moral and intellectual. I think that is what
Exactly.
you're trying to solve here. So because I was trying to see the model of Baap Company, and I was going through some blogs, and that is where I stumbled upon this quote. And I believe the way you mentioned about the teamwork, learning from your friends, you were just mentioning in the lunch that this is the entire strategy of you to form the Baap team as well now.
Yeah.
And that is how you're seeing that your friends are coming together and are taking it forward, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of polishing that rural mindsets now.
Yes, yes.
You guys have got very polished team, but now the people who I worked with doesn't know anything of this world, right? So now challenge is like first transform them, educate
Yeah.
them, change their mindset, and
Correct.
then make sure that they are delivering at that highest level of corporate what needs,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
That's a big challenge, I would say, but we have taken that up.
Correct. Perfect. So, Raosaheb, I think from a personal point of view, we all believe, and I think you are a very strong believer in that as well, that gurus play a very critical role in our lives. In fact, my guru is sitting right in front of me. So he is the one who transformed me when I joined Tricentis. And likewise, we have a lot of gurus who play a very vital role in shaping us, the mentors, the friends, the gurus. So if you have to take today as an opportunity and recall or share some of those, mentors of your who you feel, that you want to say thanks.
I would not. I mean, it's difficult to answer that question. I
Okay.
would say because every step has been journey, and every phase of my life was kind of guided by or mentored by different
Multiple
people. So
people.
when I
Yeah.
was in my up to my fourth grade, there were one teacher who joined that school. He was a fresher, I would say. So he initially, I mean, one thing I learned is like in village, your teacher, those kids to whom the teachers are focusing on, they will grow well,
Yeah.
and they will study more. And up to second standard, I felt that I was being ignored. And later on, when he joined, he started looking at me, and so in that time, like, few kids used to come with good, well dressed, well washed dress, I would say, had a footwear to wear, and then the iron
Yeah.
clothes and all that. And I remember 2 3 kids were like that in my village, and teacher always used to look at them because they were looking polished kids.
Yeah.
And we were against that funda lately, we were not having good clothes to wear and all that. But that teacher took me out and started focusing on me and a couple of more guys, and that's where I started, grooming myself, I would say, or that attention of teacher came to me, and then I started focusing in the class. Post that, in when I was doing my high school, there were different teachers, but I would say that Marathi medium
Yep.
made a lot of difference in my life. We had that Bal Bharati Marathi lessons throughout up to 10th standard, and every lesson was some inspiration. Every lesson which was put there was teaching something. That was the biggest thing. In, I think, 7th or 8th standard, we had a chapter of Mr. Ambedkar,
Instrument. Yeah.
and it was like mentioning about all his story, how he spent his life in Britain to become a lawyer. He was eating one vada pav a day or something like that. So that inspired me. Why can't I do that? When that time, when there was such an adverse condition to
Correct.
take an education, why can't I do that? So, and then one story which inspires me is about Subhash Chandra Bose, right? The guy who literally left that jail, and then
Yes.
went all way to
Yes.
Afghanistan, and from
Yes.
there to Germany and all that.
Yes.
So simple human being can do all these things. So these stories I always took back with me.
Yeah.
And then Mumbai is the entire situation, like the inequality, all that has taught a lot of things. So of course the circumstances or situation which I went through
Yeah.
were the biggest mentor, I would say, to
Perfect.
learn something new.
Yeah.
But people like, Zoe's founder and all that, people have literally inspired me to do something. So we are on the same track, I would say,
Perfect.
that going back to village, doing something for the kid.
Yeah.
But one thing I really want to do is stop all that migrants who are coming from village to come to Mumbai and
Yes.
Pune.
Yes.
And that's the biggest challenge, I would say, I have taken up.
Perfect. Perfect. I think we all have heard this quotation from Steve, right? That we should be all creating new dots. I think with all of these things that you're sharing with us, we all are getting a lot of new dots. I just got one which is very similar and familiar because I also have been a very passionate reader about the life of Subhash Chandra Bose, the way he did it. So I think all of these things reflect in the way you do the things, and very very proactively and aggressively as well.
Yeah,
So
so it's
yeah.
like people say that there is nothing impossible, right? We are
Yeah.
all taught in the schools,
Yeah.
there's nothing impossible. But where is that example?
Exactly.
A
Yes.
lot of teacher doesn't, I mean, they tell nothing is impossible. But I see Ambedkar or Subhash Chandra Bose are real examples of that nothing is impossible.
Yes. Yes.
Imagine escaping that jail
Chill. Yes.
by transforming your body and all
Yes.
that thing,
Correct.
and then swimming through that ocean to reach to let's say Afghanistan port, and from there going, it's something really you
Yes.
cannot imagine as a
Yes.
normal human
Correct.
being.
Correct.
And then that time meeting opposite opponents
Mindset.
like
Yes.
Hitler
Yes.
and
Yes.
all that
Hitler and all
people,
that.
and
Yes.
starting
Yes.
your own army.
Correct.
Someone extraordinary person only could do that. So
Correct.
these are the examples of nothing is impossible.
Okay. I think most of us can quote another example now, right? The example of Baap Company in the reference of nothing is impossible, right? At least I'm going to use that, Raosaheb. So maybe, just looking at the time as well, a couple of last questions, Raosaheb. So, no, my personal experience when I went to the Baap Company for the very first time. So I was wearing a blazer, but then no one told me, that I should not be wearing shoes, because there is a nice, culture there that, you can roam everywhere around in your, barefoot as well. But then, spending the entire day there in the middle of nature, and realizing that everything is in-house available, be that a very small thing of your need that you need from eatable perspective, or anything that you need to run from a company perspective. So how this entire ecosystem is working, because I'll tell you one example, Raosaheb. So we were having only 9 plates with us today for the lunch, and then we have to, in a city, coordinate that how we'll get the additional cutlery in the office to have the lunch properly managed. And I'm talking about here, when everyone is living nearby. But then this big ecosystem of 15 acres of office campus, and a lot of people living in the campus as well. How you manage this entire ecosystem? Is this humongous task?
So initially, we were only 3-4 people who migrated from Mumbai, I would say, to here, and it was difficult. Mainly, training all these people to handle each and every department or division
Yeah.
was a challenge, and we are still struggling with a lot of those things. But currently, a Baap Company's canteen is cooking for 400 people every day, every time,
Yeah.
I would say. And then we try to use a lot of local people, groom them to be ready for all these things.
Yeah.
And then internally, everyone is taking some responsibility. As I said, we wash our own plates. That's a first step to contribute or minimize their work,
Correct.
right? And then uh, mainly there are students representative, I would say, staff representative and management representative to look after every single thing. So if there is a vegetable supply, there is a student representative who
Very
is
nice. Yeah.
exposed
Yeah.
to do the management of that. There is a staff representative who actually goes every day in the canteen to check the supply, check the cleanliness and all that stuff. And I have a bigger vision about it, that the village need not to go outside to get anything.
Yeah.
So if we could produce that, that would be an example to change the way we are growing the cities. And
Correct.
so I feel that my village should produce everything what they need in the same village,
Yeah.
and remaining leftover they should supply to outsiders.
Yeah.
And I think that's how our ancient India would be,
Yes.
maybe doing that. Because I remember in my childhood, we used to grow everything in except sugar. Everything else was being grown in their own house, right? And that's now has gone. Like, people are not even growing bajris and wheat in the house. They purchase it from outside. So we are going towards bad ecosystem, I would say. I feel that all the farmers are king by themselves. They have their own empire, and they should be self-sustainable.
Yeah.
And we want to bring that days back.
Yeah.
Like, they should grow everything in the home. That village should not be dependent on external ecosystem.
Correct.
And whatever is left over, then they should supply it outside.
Yeah.
So that's what we want to bring back in there. And then if that happens,
Yeah.
people will not, because happiness index of people is all based on their food and quality of life, right?
Correct. Correct.
We already have clean air, we have good environment.
Absolutely.
We are in nature.
Yeah.
But what we are missing is that money, because
Yeah.
and that problem is made by own people, because they are not going with, so they have to go and purchase.
Yes.
For that they need money. Now for getting that money, they are now taking some additional jobs or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of that, if they decided that these are my requirement and I want to grow all that thing first, and then I have to think of earning money,
Yes.
they will be self-sustainable,
Correct.
self-sufficient. And then I think if that is brought back, automatically they will be more happy.
So I think the thought of building small ecosystem of communities, where they are self-sustained is a very powerful thought.
Exactly.
And it's a very nice, empathetic, view to have farmers actually getting seen as king. You use the word king for them, and I think they are the king, definitely, of the economy. And even till date, Raosaheb, I believe 65% plus population of India is living in villages. And I remember at the time of COVID, I was also in my village, and villages were the least impacted ones, from the COVID, because they are such nicely structured, that everything is good there. And the model that you mentioned, that students are running that ecosystem, I think it's a multi-dimensional, multi-layer model for the benefit of students, because they are not just learning the things, they are actually learning how to manage the things that they'll be required to do when they'll go to the professional life as well. So I think it's a very multi-tiered approach that you have taken there.
Yeah, I feel that if that happens, then we will be one of the happiest country in the world,
Absolutely.
which is missing at the moment.
Perfect. Great. So I think looking at the time as well, Raosaheb, I'll ask just one last question, even though there are a lot of things which we all want to express. But first of all, thanks for that statement that you just gave in the corridor right now. That you see us as a family in Pune. So we absolutely take pride in that. So we would love to always reciprocate this feeling of family, the way we get it in the Baap Company. So feel like a home here, whenever you feel like coming, with Vivek, you as well, and Neha, you as well. So Raosaheb, I think I got that opportunity to listen from you, when we were last time in the Baap Company, your dream project, wherein you have very extended thoughts, and you feel, that entire supply chain ecosystem, as well as connecting the dots, which couple of other people have tried. But your understanding around the deep details of it, the way you feel that it can be solved. If you want to share that as a final thing with all of us, and then we will open it for everyone to ask their own questions.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning here. It's a very important, or I would say, dream project of mine, which I always wanted to do from long back. I call it as a salaried farmers. So
Yeah.
entire India is fighting about MSPs and all that,
Yeah.
fixed price for the farmers for any good, and no government is thinking of giving that fixed price to anyone.
Yeah.
I feel that it is possible with what I am thinking. So I think of salaried farmer would be a concept where farmer would be taught to grow those things which a family in metro cities require. For example, you are 15 people here, all of you are buying regular vegetables and groceries and everything from the local market. Instead, if you start buying from the fixed set of farmers, and they are taught to, let's say, grow those vegetables in a regular interval. For example, you need coriander every day,
Yeah.
so they will start growing coriander in a part by part after every 15 days, or they are started growing onions and tomatoes after every 1 month of interval, and they are only supplying to these 10-15 families in the Pune or Mumbai.
Yeah.
And we internally, we as a Baap company takes a mediator role to supply, to provide the logistic and technology to order, to train the farmers to grow that, to help them with all the possible required way to grow this organically,
Yeah.
and then provide a way to supply that things to cities in Pune or Mumbai or whatever nearby places. I think with that idea, farmers would be able to get minimum like salary, a regular salary for every month. So 15 people must be spending, 15 families must be spending at least 10,000 on vegetables and 10,000 of groceries, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
20,000 each one of you are paying. So if I take 10 families, that means it's 2 lakhs
Yeah.
of income.
Yes.
And if you are paying 2 lakhs to, let's say, two farmers, then their salary is 1 lakh per month,
Yes.
which is easily possible. Like, if you take the proportion, my village has around 200 families, so they need at least 2000, like 200 into, let's say, 10.
Yeah.
If they want to earn 1 lakh of salary, they need at least 10 families, which is
Yeah.
easily possible to map.
Yes.
So we are thinking, or we are actually right now doing prototype of all that concept, that we will, through our kids, mainly
Yep. Yep.
600 students we have.
Yep.
So with them we are started experimenting these things, how to grow all that things which family in Pune or Mumbai require,
Yeah.
right from your milk products, then all the vegetables and grocery related thing. So all that packaging, manufacturing, growing, everything will happen there. We'll supply this to you. So we'll be bridging this farmer and families gap. That's a dream project, and with that I think farmers will not think that I want to earn crores. Instead, he will say that I want to earn that 1 lakh a month, and he will be more than happy to
Yes.
do this,
Yeah.
I would say.
Correct.
So there are many challenges at the grassroots level to do this, because typically they have a habit of growing 1 acre of tomatoes or two
Yep.
acres of onions at the same time. And what happens is they do not understand supply and demand at all, right? So that way what happens is they end up getting a lot of losses. So 1 year they will be beneficial, other 2 years they will lose.
Yeah.
So if this constant growing training is given to them, if we bridge that gap of bridging farmers to the families here, I think that would be
Yeah.
successful.
Yeah.
So it's a powerful idea,
Correct.
and it's next big thing which can happen in India,
Yeah.
or in retail sector, at least in metro cities.
Correct. And I think the element of sustainability will be embedded into it, because as of now, the uncertainty because of which farmers are getting afraid to scale their farming area as well. I think that will be pretty much
Yeah,
managed.
exactly. So
Perfect.
we
Yeah.
are taking their failure burden onto us. We
Yes.
will make
Correct.
sure that they are not failing,
Correct.
right? So that's the biggest support they need at the moment.
Perfect.
Currently, nobody is educating them about their economics at all.
Yeah.
They take a lot of risk, right? I mean,
Correct. They
when
do.
a
Yes.
farmer starts sowing something in their farm, they invest 1-2 lakhs easily,
Yes.
without thinking whether rain is gonna come, they will have sufficient water or
Yes.
not,
Yes.
they will get good price or not. All that are just questions in their mind, but they
Yeah.
take risk,
Yeah.
right? And if somebody like us, he will lift that risk onto us and educate them to grow right or produce right things, they will be very much dependent on us, they will trust us. And
Yeah.
at the same time, people in Pune and Mumbai will get
Yeah.
organic food, quality of your
Yes.
eatables would improve. So I think that is what our next big thing we want to do apart from what we are doing at the Baap.
And a lot of people like me are waiting for that, Raosaheb, because I was just talking to my wife after the visit from Baap Company, and I was telling her that we have so much uncultivated land now, which we have stopped growing anything. As soon as this model starts working there, I'll take some blessings and implement it there as well. But yeah, I think no, there are definitely a lot of people who will take a direct benefit from this. So
Yes.
thanks for your thoughts on this, Raosaheb. I think we'll go to the eager, you know, colleagues here as well. They might have a lot of questions that they want to ask. So yeah, opening up the floor to everyone now to ask questions from Raosaheb. Yeah.
I think I don't have targets. Frankly speaking, that is the only thing I feel, because if I have no pressure that I have to perform well in front of Kapil, or I have no pressure that I want to really get this client or do this or do that. It's like I am living my own dream and I have my own pace to take it ahead. So I'm not worried much about the numbers and targets, and that's what is probably keeping me relaxed. I would say, and that's what I see in Sarvarth also, right? You guys are, I'm little jealous about this, frankly speaking, that you are more process oriented. You are focused on one dream, one goal, which I am not. Okay, and that way you are able to, execute everything very seamlessly, I would say, or very professionally, and that's what we are not able to do at Baap. Okay, I feel that that's why I'm very much interested to work with you, because you can bring in that process flows in Baap Company, and you can make us more organized. So that's what I feel, and I'm enjoying day to day life. So no pressure of doing anything on like hurried basis, no targets at all. So that's the core of all these things, I would say.
Thank you, Raosaheb.
I have one more, but I'll come later.
You'll come later. Okay, fine.
Come and stay in villages.
Very nice.
Yeah, I wish, but I don't know. Unfortunately, I've never been to a village.
So that's what now you are in comfort zone. See,
Yeah.
if you'll get a challenge when you break out of that comfort zone, and that's where I feel that you should come out of that comfort zone. You'll automatically start seeing life challenging. Right? If my parents were telling me after 12 that do not go to Mumbai,
Yeah.
instead do D.Ed and B.Ed and you can become a teacher somewhere in the school. But I thought, no, I don't want to do that. I left that village against
Yeah.
their mindset and moved to Mumbai. And then the challenging life start, right? You don't have money to go by bus to the college. You don't have money to pay the fees. So we all, I mean, with just a vision of doing something big. Otherwise, I would be more happy in my village doing that regular thing. I wouldn't have car, I wouldn't have this kind of lifestyle, but definitely that would have been. But that's like content life, I would say.
And we'll not talk about the cars, right? The ones that Vivek and Raosaheb are bringing today, right? Because we already had the discussion in the afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rikshita.
So in my diary, I have written that there are 4 things I have to focus on. The first thing is agriculture, which I actually came from the family background. Second thing is governance, where I actually was impacted a lot or being impacted a lot because corruption and all these political things. So second thing. Third thing is about healthcare. So we see that there are a lot of challenges in the healthcare industry. And fourth one is of course IT, where we are anyways doing something great, IT and education together. So healthcare is on our roadmap, but frankly speaking, we tried last year. We have our own pharmacy, we have our own pathology lab. Baap Company owned this thing. So we started that with an idea of experimenting how we can give less costly and quality services in that area. So in our pharmacy lab, you get blood test done within 70 rupees, within 70 rupees, wherein in the outside market
Yeah.
it is 250 rupees. Likewise, I feel that it is still profitable. With 70 rupees, it's profitable because it takes 17 rupees to get that kit for doing the CBC test, and people are charging 250 for this. We are in a talk to acquire one pharma company. I mean, it's not final, it's just an initial preliminary discussion. And that we realize that it takes 6% to 20% of that manufacturing cost, and rest is all profit. So if you buy a tablet of 100 rupees, that cost only 6 rupees for them to make it. Such a huge gap, and it's all done because of all this bad corporate policies what India has got or what world has got, I feel. The only problem we are not able to enter into that sector is because we do not have core team member who is an expert in the healthcare industry. So I'm looking for that person who is probably an MD or MBBS doctor or having that skills, who can come on board as a core team member and then take that division ahead. But yes, that is needed, and I think healthcare is such a second largest sector where it gives that much profit. After IT, healthcare is the most profitable sector in India, and there needs a lot of reform there. So we want to make healthcare. In our Baap app, there is a provision where you can call ambulance on one click, doctor on one click, order medicine on one click. So that thing we already provided to the village people, right? But there is much more needed in that sector, I feel. Definitely. I mean, we are thinking let next 5 years we should have at least 30, 36 centers across Maharashtra and beyond. That's my vision. At least minimum 36, because we have 36 district, one in each district at the moment. But whatever ideas we are tossing out right now can be replicated quickly across India.
Yep.
And let's say this farmers, like salaried farmer concept, right? If it is successful here, you can easily take it to the villages nearby Indore and supply all that to the Indore city, correct? So likewise it can happen across. Same thing about education. We are providing complete alternative to engineering, at least in IT or electronics, right? Now we want to go beyond that for mechanical or healthcare sector, right?
Yeah.
So we are coming up with our own education system as such. Though it's a small seed at the moment, but it can really be that in near future. So complete private university of our own, which provides practical education for every single thing. People will stop going to these UGC based colleges or something, right? We can do that. So likewise it can happen in every single sector, I feel, and it's easy to replicate it. It's like, I think Sarwarth can do that in next different place, isn't it? So I believe in partnerships, and I think together we form more bigger teams and take it fast to the entire India. That's what our vision should be or is.
Perfect.
When your principle or your mindset is fail fast, then you are anyways gonna stand up again, because you know that you have to fail. I mean, try it out, see if it is working. If not working, consider it as failed and start again something different. So that way your mindset is prepared to start again. Correct. So in last 2 years, we have started a lot of ideas, and we have 600 brains who comes with every time one different new thing.
Yep.
We validate it. If we believe that it has a potential, we take it ahead and start working on it. Many things has failed. I mean, Vivek and I had an experience. We started back in 2010 together. We worked on 3 projects together. All 3 failed, and but that hunger of starting again and again has never gone down, and we are still starting.
Thank you, Dheeraj.
That's the reason we want to fail fast, right? There is only one life. Now, if you fail fast, then only you can start something new, right? I never had that thought of giving up, because I started with the vision to make it success, at least for that small ecosystem, not for entire India or not for entire Maharashtra, but for my village it should be successful, and I should be able to employ that 200 families, kids, and build our own ecosystem. So that idea was always there. Challenges were like tremendous. Until now we are still learning, trying to fix many things. I mean, I was telling some time back in that other thing, we have a challenge that all these students are not putting that garbage in that tin, that after lunch, right? So that is all spreading around. So I have told 3-4 kids to come up with the solution to fix this problem. That itself is a challenge for us. But now all that 4-5 students are putting their brains together how they can solve this problem of not letting that food go outside that dustbin. it's a problem solving skills which I'm putting people on,
Yeah.
every task or challenge there, and they're coming up with solutions. I think that question you should ask me after 5 years or 10 years. Ideal situation is same fail fast strategy. Throw that person out and get someone new.
That's a very dangerous one.
but it's difficult to do that in village, because that person will next day come and, okay, where is this Raosaheb? Okay, let me beat him, let me break his glass of office. So anything can happen in village. In city it is difficult. But I think if that person is not really doing that, taking that positively, that means he's not right person for you, I feel. You should put him in a different role and hire somebody else to take that up. I mean, we are trying 3-4 times on everyone, but if not, we have a policy in Baap Company that once somebody has gone out of the company, should not be rehired. So we have do not rehire flag for everyone who goes out, and that is important, because we, I mean, my nature is like, I first trust the person without asking him to trust me, and then try him out. I give him one chance, two chance, three time chance. If he's not working out, he's completely gone from my life, my company. So that's how it is. Yeah.
0 or 1, yes. And Dheeraj, I think it's not just that you have heard now about the last 5 kilometers. I think you are the most celebrated person there. You have most connections developed there, right? So good.
That's what we are teaching city kids, not to eat the fast food. So Neha is one of the examples. She has grown up in Mumbai and she is coming back to village now. Started eating what we eat every day. We usually take her out to Sangamner or Shirdi to eat pizzas and burgers and all that. But thing is, you need to see what is around there and only be content with that. And if you need something, start thinking how you can bring that there. So we are also thinking of starting a community kitchens, wherein outside in the campus we'll create a small pots to cook your own food. So whoever wants, they can go and cook something in the open area. So that's what we are thinking to put there in the Baap campus.
Very nice.
Let me market my next idea to you
I was
guys.
gonna say that, yes.
Day before yesterday, we bought 11 acre of land next to our company.
Wow.
So opposite that, just near to that forest.
Just one more thing. Small things are good.
So and we were brainstorming, all of us. So we thought of contributing, let's say 5 to 10 lakhs each, all the employees of Baap Company, and that is near to that dense forest. So we are planning like across that 11 acre nearby that forest, we'll have row houses for the city people. Okay, these row houses would be given on a lease basis. So now Vaibhav can come in Paregaon, own a half acre of land on lease, can grow his own vegetable with his family. We will train him to do that. He can stay in that house for that 15 days or 1 month he wants to. Take that vegetable back to Pune and work from Pune. So that kind of concept we
Very
are
nice.
thinking, that you will get your own village kind of feeling. You will stay with us. And that place is that 11 acre of land is horse ride away from our office. Okay, or bullock cart ride on. So we are going to have some horses and bullock carts where you can stay there, come to Baap office on the horses or in the bullock cart, work, attend your meeting, go back to the farm. So that's the idea we are trying to implement in next 1 or 2 year. So that entire place we are going to allocate to kids to plant something interesting, build that houses and all that. So that is something our next thing. So it's
And for
like
me, not to forget, I think the boating experience is also in the pipeline, right?
exactly, exactly. So we thought of because that is, there is one mountain, small
Yes, yes.
mountain out there. So we are thinking there should be one entire like stream of water should be coming, where you can start the boat from there, come to Baap office, go back on the horse again, likewise. So that all things are in roadmap.
Perfect.
No, it has many different angle, or I would say I cannot say everything, but Baap Company mainly I feel that एक धासु नेम होना चाहिए in Marathi language कि people should feel that I mean nobody believed that someone can keep the company name as Baap, because for us it's arrogant way of calling a father, right? Then second thing is every family, every village kid doesn't get that much support of father. So Baap Company is a backbone for everyone over there. That is another meaning behind it. Then those who feels that we cannot do anything, for them we are saying that we are the Baap Company and we'll do everything what you think you cannot do. So that's another meaning of it. And then finally it's Baap, business applications and platforms which have provided. So there are many applications which were coming up, which will be given so reasonably to entire world that no one can compete with us in that way. I don't know why you are working. If you are working for money, then it's a different story altogether. But I feel at any age you start, even though you are in teaching earlier and starting in IT or this area right now, but if you are enjoying this, then you are gonna make a good career. I feel. If you are not enjoying, I think you should quit. So there were my first company, L&T Infotech. Every morning when I used to wake up, I felt that why I am going to office. I always felt bad. I always felt that unhappiness. But since I had the responsibilities, loans, and everything, I had to go. Correct. And due to that, I could not perform in that company at all. I was like very average performer. Next company I joined, Bank of America, where I got all that back end work, the SQL queries and database. I never enjoyed that. I thought I'm not creating something new or good. There also, I quit within a year. I felt that that is not for me. So it was until I joined one startup where I started contributing, learning new technology, and I built some great product. I felt that this is where I want to work, right? So if you are feeling that you are not enjoying this office, you should not be here. So money is different thing, but finally you have one life and you have to enjoy where you are, right? If you are not enjoying, there is a challenge. So currently I'm very happy what I'm doing at Baap. So I know I'm gonna be, even though whatever money we are getting, that's a different story, but we are enjoying what we are doing. And that's what I had told everyone when we started in Paregaon, की मराठीमध्ये आम्ही सगळ्यांना सांगायचो की तुम्हाला मजा आली पाहिजे हे करताना. जर तुम्हाला प्रत्येक वेळी स्वतःला हाच क्वेश्चन विचारता की मजा येते का, आणि तो जर त्याचं उत्तर हो असेल तर इथे थांबा, नाही तर थांबू नका. So that's what we are implementing over there.
Even I could understand this very well. So perfect. Yes.
See, there are many who has an attraction of city life, frankly speaking, because they feel that city is very enjoyable experience, and this movies, malls, people are attracted to. But whoever I have met, right, who came from village or hailed from village, they feel that 2 years of life in city is good. Rest after that, everyone feels to go back to the villages. That's a experience I have, seen in everyone's mind. And then I feel that at least the people who are working in BAP, the third year students who are working with us, they don't want to come to Pune or Mumbai. They feel attached to us, and they say that we don't want to leave BAP company at all. So that's where I feel that the loyalty to the client which is required,
Yeah.
right? The employee should be there for at least 5 to 6 years. We are gonna have that. I would say 95% of our students will stay with us, and that's where we have now target of getting more companies, setting up offices in Paregaon and building from there.
Perfect. Thank you.
First thing I feel, I always wanted this to happen. So people from Pune or Mumbai, when comes to Paregaon, all our employees and all our students are very much happy with that kind of collaborations, because they feel some professional people coming in and then they are mentoring, because they have seen, I mean, they are working day in day out with us, right? They don't feel anything different, and people are so habitual to us that even if I am going, sometimes they come and put a hand on my shoulder and say, "Ah, how are you, no, कसं काय चाललंय?" Like that kind of friendliness has been there. But when you guys come, they see it as a professional relationship between Baap Company, and for us it's good to market, okay, that people are joining hands with the Baap Company, because I have been telling them that I'm not looking personally at the numbers. Many companies joining hands together and transforming village, that's the entire motive behind all that idea, right? So even if you come, you contribute, you gain out of it something, we gain something, and we are able to change, let's say 5,000, 10,000 village kids, our motive is successful, right? So that way we look at you, and definitely a lot of things to learn, of course. As I said, you guys are bringing in a lot of process orientedness to the Baap Company, and our kids have started taking that as an input, like LinkedIn effect you have seen, right? A lot of these kids have started posting on LinkedIn nowadays.
Yes.
So I feel it's a relationship, it's all partnership world. If we want to grow fast, scale fast, we cannot think as our own, we all have to join hands and then, you know, grow. That's what I feel. And not only you, both of us, but I think we should bring in more companies together to do this, because India is huge country and there is
Yes.
entire Africa and Latin America out there where you have bigger playground to play, right? If we do it fast, we can go out of India to these countries.
Yeah. In fact, about Africa and Latin America, we just talked during our last visit as well. But I think thanks for all the insights, Raosaheb. I really loved the way the interaction happened, and especially the questions that came. So I hope you enjoyed the conversation as well.
course.
Yeah. So it was your first visit to Sarwarth office. No, we have tried our best to give
I'm
you
sorry
the
about
kind
that.
of
I
environment.
mean, you guys have visited 3-4 times. We couldn't do that much, but frankly speaking, we are 4-5 heads, and we are quite
Yes.
occupied. But
Yeah.
I know this should happen
Yeah,
quite
no,
often.
that was not the intent to mention it. So, so it was more on the lighter side to
Yeah,
just say that no, our hospitality worked for you at least to
Yeah,
the
thank
level
you so much. Yes.
we have seen it there. But yeah, we welcome you, and we would love to have you here and your team as well in future.
Sure.
So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for
Thank you.
organizing all this.